Hi, I'm Carin Bondar. I am a super proud mom of 4, but also a biologist by training. So I have a bachelor's, a master's, and a PhD, all in various fields of biology. I, after graduating, became a blogger and a writer and have had an excellent career as a science communicator, both online, through books, and also on television. I was actually a dancer full time after I graduated high school. But then I came back to university and then ultimately to biology. I have been teaching at the university and I currently teach my own class, Methods in Science Communication.
Through my blogging years, I had noticed and capitalized on a very clear trend. If there was sex involved in any way, shape, or form, my audience was 10 times bigger. There were questions, comments, shares. It was, without a doubt, the easiest trend to see. And that ended up, making me go, okay, well, I'll probably keep my eye out for interesting research that comes out in that area. I mean, the bottom line is that humans are animals. We are mammals, primates. We are governed by the principles of biology, which means, we're all about surviving and reproducing. And therefore, sex has a lot to do with our day-to-day lives. And that's the way that I approached a lot of my writing. And I was then approached by a company that actually has an incredible reputation for providing high quality stock footage. Big players, BBC, Nat Geo, they wanted to do a series all about animal sex. They noticed my blog posts. They also noticed that I was putting out my own material, including some music video projects. Filmed a series, 21 episodes in 9 days. An absolutely epic time and an epic series. And sure, it's one that used bold themes and bold storytelling with a lot of beauty. That's my jam. And was not your David Attenborough blue chip natural history. Purposefully not so. It was me being bold and sexy and owning it. The series launched my career to a global stage. It was amazing. I was invited to give a TED Talk at TED Global in Edinburgh. I was invited to write a book by #UK, which then led to another book and several more series, which I just catapulted into this beautiful, amazing collection of work that's marked my career, including series like Stephen Hawking's Brave New World, where he actually literally says my name in every episode. Yeah, he says my name. Outrageous Acts of Science, the #1 show on Discovery Networks. Yeah, a pretty great career. I could never complain because of doing those projects allowed me to stay at home with the kids the rest of the time. It was awesome. And when the pandemic hit, there was a by-election happening in District 33 Chilliwack, and so I decided to enter the race. It was something that felt really near and dear. Both my parents were public school teachers. I'm a graduate of the public system, and I fundamentally believe that public system that's accessible to all is really a cornerstone to a democratic society. Naive doesn't even really begin to describe the way that I approached it. I wasn't even really considering my work. I was only thinking about the fact that I had a lot of great experience in communications and in science literacy, and that would lend itself really well to being a school trustee. I wasn't remotely prepared when a billboard was erected on some private property on the morning of the one debate that was scheduled for that by-election. Wow. I was just dumbstruck. I had no idea. A music video using parody for education. It's like such a great vessel. And this one was using Wrecking Ball, Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball. Organisms do evolve.
That organisms do evolve. That giant mysteries been solved.
I was never singing it, let me be clear. And it was all over this series that was nearly a decade old at the time. I was like, what? Wild Sex, when it came out, was kind of revolutionary. And listen, a little toot toot here, but it was amazing. Like, not only was it a series that I did, it was a series that was celebrated. It was received with open arms. Okay, so anyway, yeah.
I wasn't expecting that to become a repeated issue. I sort of thought it will die down. I didn't really know how to handle it. I don't think anyone does. And I simply hoped it would stop. Yeah, it didn't stop.
We both decided to run for re-election the following term. And I was just really hoping that we could move away from this. No, it's over. You did it last time. It didn't work. I was hoping that it was just behind us. And one of the first things that happened, he went on some kind of a show and did an interview where he referred to me as a striptease artist yet again. And it is a legitimate way of life. So not only are they attempting to disparage those who do engage in that kind of work, they also made it seem like that is what I do. He went on to create newsletters using just a few select screen grabs. Listen, let me be clear. The first series was not for kids, okay? It did have an 18 rating on it, and that's not because there was nudity, though. I was just dumbstruck that this could be real. There was pushback to the lawsuit. Again, I felt very misogynistic in flavor, as though because I had done this role, I should have seen it coming. And it's like, wait, no, this is my entire professional reputation. All the while, he continues this same defamation campaign. He has repeatedly refused to even just apologize. I mean, the very first thing that I ever did before launching a lawsuit was simply ask him to stop. And he wouldn't. And so what else is one to do at that point? The threats, holy smokes, threats to me of violence, of rape, of death for making videos about science. That's just unhinged. That's scary for me. Yeah, I mean, what does one do though? I gotta stand up for myself as a woman in politics and as a woman in science. And that is really why I launched the suit and why I'm thrilled to have won the suit and won the appeal. This is a big one. In places where women are really marginalized and sort of swept under the rug. Our trial was a gong show. I was on the stand for nearly 4 full days. The idea for Adventures in Wild Sex appeared to me when I was on the stand during the trial. The entire thing was almost too ridiculous to believe. Well, you can judge for yourself because the court transcripts, several of them, make the show. It was just a malicious, haranguing, never-ending, repetitive, beyond measure cross-examination. I was like, is this reality? Is this happening? It was such a perplexing situation, and yet comical. Adventures in Wild Sex sums up a lot of what this story is about on a broad level. It is a one-woman show based on my adventures in, biology, but also encounters of the humankind out here in the great city of Chilliwack. It's a relatable story to anyone who has been misunderstood and thrown under the bus. What else are you going to do but have a laugh and do a dance and learn something and move on, right? That's it. Ultimately, it is a story about being true to what you need to do because success looks different for everyone. And this is just kind of how I navigated my way to what I considered to be a successful outcome. I find it highly entertaining. Audiences are going to leave just feeling uplifted, really uplifted. It's a beautiful story of resilience. There's nothing else I was prepared to do with my life. I have no regrets about any of my projects. I love them all. Not just that, but it's a bucket list thing for me. I began my adult life as a dancer over in Germany as a classical ballet dancer. And I always wondered if I would make it back to the stage. I perform on the stage as a biologist for sure in lectures, but this is actual dance mixed with storytelling and media. Yep, and my 50th year is the year that it's coming together. And on some level, it would be amazing if I could recoup some money from the show to put towards the debt. But hey man, that's maybe a story for another day. I hope you join me for an adventure quite unlike any other. Check out Adventures in Wild Sex, playing for 2 nights only at the Chilliwack Cultural Center, April 1st and 2nd. It's not an April Fool's joke. It is actually going to be April 1st and 2nd at the Chilliwack Cultural Center. Adventures in Wild Sex with me, Dr. Carin Bondar. It's a little too wacky, wonderful, and weird not to check out.
They go together, science and communication, together they do belong. Data is better, the scientific method is consistent, systematic, strong.